Hey, and welcome to this week's episode of the Inclusive Networker Podcast. This is your host, Dr. Ramona, and what am I talking about today? Well, I want to talk about the language of networking. So, this is the Inclusive Networker. Sometimes we talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion systems, and we talk about networking. So, today is all about the language of networking. And so, you all, as business owners, if you are listening to this and you are an entrepreneur or you own a business, you have to know that there is a language to networking. And so, if you are wanting to go out and collaborate with other business owners, or you're wanting to go and talk to banks, people know if you know what you're talking about, right? If you don't know business terminology, if you are not familiar with what it takes to run a business and what those things are actually called, then you are not going to get very far. And so let's talk about this because I want you all to be prepared. So, you all know that if you have talked to, let's say, a young person, maybe you talked to a teenager recently. I do that quite often. And if you have talked to a teenager, you know that sometimes they're saying things about being grown up, right, that don't make any sense. They're talking about things that they don't know. And when you listen to them talking about being an adult and how they know that things should go, right? They're talking about all that they know and all of their 16, 17-year-old wisdom. Then you look at them and you listen and you're like, oh, let me just move on. I know that they don't know what they're talking about, right? And that's an illustration of what happens when we're having business conversations sometimes. And so I was in a situation the other day when I was at the hospital. I was having a little procedure done, very minor procedure, and I started asking them questions. And they said, wait, do you work in healthcare? And I said, well, I'm in public health. I'm not actually in healthcare. And they're like, you ask different questions, right? You ask different questions than what people would typically ask in this situation. Okay. So that got me thinking, yeah, there is a sound when someone knows what they're talking about with a subject. And so if you're a person that works on cars, then if I'm talking about cars, you're gonna know I don't know what I'm talking about. And so if you are wanting to really do business, we got to start sounding. We got to make the sound of a business owner. And so there's words, there's language that people use in business. The first thing that I want you all to understand is your sales process and your sales system. So, what do I mean by that? Well, how do customers come to you? How do you get leads? Do they come from Facebook ads? Do you have them organically? Are they organic or are they paid? Which means organic is like social media. You're just getting them through making your post. Paid is Facebook, YouTube, Google ads. Okay. How are you gathering what we call traffic? Traffic is people that are coming to you to hear about your products and services. Okay. So if you don't understand how people move through your sales system, like when they come in, do they start at social media? Then where do they go in the process after that, right? Do they hit your website? What happens after they hit your website? Is there a form for them to fill out? If you're in network marketing, if they come into your social media, do you move them to the DMs? And then do you move them onto your email list? And then do you ask them about the opportunity, right? If you're a brick and mortar, are they hitting your website? Do they fill out a form? After they fill out a form, does it go to an email list? Do you start them on a texting campaign? So, what is happening in this process that you're moving people forward. So I want you to understand very clearly your sales process. Okay. What's the next thing? You need to understand what is a funnel. A funnel is not your kitchen device that you're siphoning things through, right? Funnels are different pages that people go to that have one, here's another term you need to know, call to action. It says, this is the thing that I want you to do next. Okay. If you don't know this terminology, I need you to get on top of this. Okay. So funnels are pages that lead someone to a very specific action. So if you're talking to people and they're talking about funnels, websites, right? All of these things, you've got to know this very, very simple terminology. The next thing is your unique selling proposition or your unique value, right? You have got to know this, especially if you are in network marketing. But in any business, what makes you different? If 1,000 people are selling the exact same thing as you, do you understand what is unique about you? And do you put that out there so people know that they need to use your products or services versus the other 1,000 people who are doing the same thing? So, what is your unique selling proposition or your unique value proposition? Then, if you are a business owner, my brick and mortar business owners, my network marketers don't do this as much, but what is your cost per lead? How much is it costing you to get traffic? Okay? How much does it cost you to get that person to give you their email address? Okay. If they are just there on your social media, they are not a lead. If they have given you some information, then you can say that they are a lead. Okay. How much does it cost to convert that lead into payment? Okay. So, cost per conversion. This is language that you all should be speaking right now. Nobody tells you this stuff. It's like you're trying to figure it out along the way. You got to know this terminology. Okay. And so, one thing that I really want you all to do is to start to listen to business owners, listen on YouTube, listen to podcasts. What types of terms are they using? And then go and look them up and see how it relates to your business. Not every term is going to relate to your business, right? And so that's okay. But if you are talking to a business owner, they know very quickly. Have y'all ever watched Shark Tank? They know very quickly if you don't know your stuff when it comes to business. And so, being a business owner, being an entrepreneur has a sound. And if you are not using the right language, then you are not going to be taken seriously in this field. And so, what I want you all to do is to go out, search out business terms, start speak it into existence, speak like a business owner. And if you are in need of a system, and I know that you are, it is time for you to take a look at I Engage You. If you are one of those people that says, I do not understand my sales process, what happens when a person is a lead? How do I convert them? How do I make sure that they convert over from social media and they're not just followers? I Engage You is for you. It is my all-inclusive platform that is going to level the playing field for business owners. This is for you if you need a system that is going to ensure that you go from leads to clients and that you make your business boom in this next year. And so head over to drramonah.lawrence.com is DRRAYMONAHLAWRENCE.com. Click on book and I Engage You demo. And I am so excited to see where you all go. And as always, I see you and I'm cheering you on.